Hello students, in this video we are going to learn how to find equivalent fraction to a particular rational number or we can say that it's a rational equivalent to a rational number. This example is taken from class 7th exercise 8.1 and the question says give 4 rational numbers equivalent to and 3 fractions are given. So let's start with the first one. The first fraction is negative 2 over 7. And we need to find 3 equivalent fraction for this fraction or rational number. For finding the rational number which is equivalent to a particular fraction or a rational number, we are going to multiply and divide this fraction by the same number. Here we have negative 2 over 7. And for finding the first fraction, let's take 2 and multiply and divide this fraction by 2. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4 and 7 times 2 is 14. So this is our first fraction. To find the next fraction which is equivalent to negative 2 over 7, we are going to multiply and divide it by a different number. So let's take 3 this time. So negative 2 multiplied by 3 is negative 6 and 7 multiplied by 3 is 21. So the next fraction is negative 6 upon 21. And for finding the next equivalent fraction, we are going to take number 4 and multiply and divide it by 4. So 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 and 4 times 7 is 28. So we already got 3 equivalent fractions. Let's take another number and find the next equivalent fraction to negative 2 over 7. Let's take 5 this time. So negative 2 multiplied by 5 is negative 10 and 7 multiplied by 5 is 35. So negative 10 upon 35 is the next equivalent fraction. So we got 4 fractions which are equivalent to negative 2 upon 7. So these 4 fractions are equivalent to negative 2 upon 7. Let's do the next one which is negative 5 upon 3. To find the equivalent fraction to this fraction or rational number, we are going to repeat the same process and multiply and divide it by different numbers. For first number, let's multiply and divide it by 2. So 5 times 2 is 10 and 3 times 2 is 6 and it's a negative number, so negative 6. So next we have 5 over negative 3 and we are going to multiply and divide it by next number which is 3. So 5 times 3 is 15 and negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. So this is the next equivalent fraction to 5 over negative 3. Let's take another number and multiply and divide it by 4. So 5 times 4 is 20 and negative 3 times 12 is negative 3 times 4 is negative 12. This is another equivalent fraction to 5 over negative 3. Let's multiply and divide it by 5. So that's 5 times 5 25 and 3 times 5 is 15 and there's a negative sign, so that's negative 15. So these are the 4 equivalent fractions which are equivalent to 5 over negative 3. Let's box these fractions and we'll move to the next one. Now let's solve the next one. Next fraction is 4 upon 9. So 4 upon 9, we are going to multiply and divide it by 2 first. We can take different numbers. Here I am taking simpler numbers like 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's easy to multiply and get the equivalent fraction. 4 times 2 is 8 and 9 times 2 is 18. So 8 by 18 is one equivalent fraction to 4 over 9. Next we can take 3 and 3. So multiply and divide by 3 over 3. And here we see that we are multiplying and dividing by the same number. That means we are just multiplying it by 1. Because 2 over 2 or 3 over 3 will be 1. So this is not going to change the value of this fraction. That's why we are getting equivalent fraction which are equal in value but different numbers. So next one is 4 times 3 12 and 9 times 3 27. Let's multiply and divide by 4. 4 times 4 is 16 and 9 times 4 is 36. And let's multiply and divide it by 5 to get the last equivalent fraction. 4 times 5 is 20 and 9 times 5 is 45. So these are the 4 equivalent fractions which are equivalent to fraction 4 over 9. Let's box these fraction and this completes our question number 3 of exercise 8.1, class 7th. This is how we find equivalent fraction to any given rational number. I hope this video is helpful to you. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more math videos. Thanks for watching.